Good morning, afternoon, evening. Hello. It is so good to be here. So good to be here today. I have missed you all so very much. I can't even tell you how much. And I think, honestly, there is an issue with Rumble. Oh, here we are on Rumble, finally. Welcome to the first episode of With Beanz. I have missed you all so much. So much. What a month it's been. It has been an absolutely insane month of so many things. So many things. It has been an absolutely insane. And echoes and tech difficulties and craziness and opportunities taken and I have so much to talk to you guys about today. So, this is the new show, Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see who we have in the chat. We have Sharon in the chat. We have former 3364 in the chat. We have Zelly. We have Smith. Welcome. Tracy, welcome. You guys are back. It's so good to see you. DLS is back. Hello. IMF is here. Thank you guys for your well wishes. Right before I'm going to say, like, seriously, this little things are always going to happen. Always. Like, right before I was starting today, little things were happening. It was, quite something. I had tech problems at the very last second. I had all kinds of crazy crap going on. I lost all my show prep, my browser window crap. It's one of those things. But I think I think we're good now. So, let's get to some business before we get into show. This is the format. When I did my last episode of Dark to Light, I said I want to do something different. I want to do something that fosters more community, that allows us to get to know each other better. I don't want to be some talking head sitting here in front of you just spewing out my opinions, not getting any input. I've had like this kind of time of soul searching, and at the very core, when I break everything else down, when I break everything else away, and I really get down to like, why do I want to do any of this? Why did I become a journalist? Why did I do all the work I did? Like, why? Because I want to help people. I just want to be able to help people. Like, that is like my sole motivation when you chip all the other crap away. And so I figure this is the perfect vehicle for that, because the second half of every single show, and I'm not even firm on times and end things. I just kind of want to go with the flow here with you guys. But the second half of every show, I'm going to do something nobody does, and probably for good reason, but we'll figure it out together. I'm dropping a damn show link, a Zoom link, in the chat on Rumble as a post on Getter underneath my X post on X. And I'm just dropping that link, and then if you want to come on and sit here and talk to me so we can have a conversation about stuff we talked about in the show, or if you have like some insurmountable problem you're looking for advice on, or whatever, this is your time to do it. I have no filter on this stuff. I don't even know who's going to do it. If anybody, I might put that link out there and everybody, loses their cojones and nobody clicks it. I have no idea. That's what it is. Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday's show is still going to have the Frank in it, but it's not going to be live because he can't do the afternoon. So you'll see a Friday Frank show. But the topics here are like, I'm not limited to politics anymore, guys. I'm not doing it. I'm exploring human consciousness. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And we're going to focus it on, it's going to be, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, being informed without being afraid, learning how to, internalize what's going on in the world without letting it affect you. Somebody in the chat right now said they have really bad jock itch and want to know how they can deal with that. And I say, you need to look inward and figure out why you are opposed to showers, laundry, and all of the other stuff that could come along with a really bad case of jock itch from my limited knowledge of what that is. So, share it out with your friends. I have one more announcement to make before we get to the little content that I have for the show today and the kind of intro. I am so excited because I told you all there's a lot that's been going on for the past month or two or 3 or 4. And I wasn't lying. It has been an absolute whirlwind. And it's not just me. There's been a lot of people out there that are just like, what the hell? Everything's changing. People don't know where they're landing, where they're going. Careers are changing. Jobs are changing. All of it's changing. Everything. Well, I have been honored to have accepted a role as editor-in-chief at MAHA. What does this mean? This means that MAHA as an organization has a very big responsibility to make sure that there's accurate, truthful, and well presented information going out to the people about their health and how to become healthy again. That means, what are the problems that we've faced in the past? How are we changing those problems? What are some solutions? Kind of spearheading the information delivery of MAHA. I am very, very excited to be doing that with them. It is a dream come true. It is right in my wheelhouse. It is exactly why I changed I mean, that came later, but it's just, it couldn't be more perfect. And the team over there is so amazing. Dell Bigtree reached out to me since, you know, we've worked together for quite some time and asked me if I would be interested. And I said absolutely before I even knew exactly what he wanted me to do, because it's Dell and you can't doubt Dell. He's something else. So that is another hat I'll be wearing. And I think it's just a beautiful movement of people that are going to do amazing things on this planet for so many people, and it's going to grow and grow and grow. And how could you not be excited about that? So that's a huge and exciting new chapter too. So keep your eye out. I have a lot going on, a lot of hats. Excited to wear all of them with you guys, with you. You are with me, with Beanz. So let's do some news. The first couple weeks of the Trump presidency have been a dream come true. I really didn't expect it. I didn't expect this, but here we are. It's better than I could have expected. There's a lot of people out there bitching about tariffs, bitching about this, bitching about some tech CEO with the keys to OPM, bitching. I'm not bitching about any of it. Everything was broken. Everything was all over the place. Everything was crazy. At least now we have people that are identifying so much waste, fraud, and abuse that we have to actually literally dismantle organizations and NGOs and like branches of government that are so corrupt. Things that I have been talking about for decades now. And I'm just sitting here like, I think, oh yeah, look at that. Gigi said it's like the Ron Paul revolution. Yeah, it kind of is. I know people are going to disagree with me, but I have something here. I want to play you something, and I want you to note the difference. People are so finished with this inauthentic politician speech. Like, we could go through the RFK, Tulsi, Cash hearings from last week. You would see it. People are so done. Writ large. I'm not even just talking about people who are very heavily engaged in politics. I'm talking about people writ large across the spectrum. They can sniff out fakeness from a mile away. I don't have any opinion about, I'm not going to share any opinion about Joni Ernst, okay? I'm not. But I want you to just listen. Let's make sure this works. Here, listen to this. This is Elon Musk on the first DOGE space last night on X.
As we dug into USAID, it became apparent that what we have here is not an apple with a worm in it, but we have actually just a bowl of worms. And so at the point at which you don't merely, like, if you've got an apple and it's got a worm in it, maybe you can take the worm out. But if you've got actually just a bowl of worms, it's hopeless. and USAID is a bowl of worms.
Mm-hmm.
There is no apple.
Mm-hmm.
And when there is no apple, you've just got to basically get rid of the whole thing. That is why
No.
it's got to go. You know,
So,
it's beyond repair. So, yeah.
well,
And they did it. And they did. They got rid. They just got rid of it. Now, on my list of top people that I trust inside government, Marco Rubio is not really on there. Okay, he's not really on there. That's just my personal opinion, given past experience, seeing the Russiagate stuff and whatever. But I don't know, like, how else to explain the feeling of seeing an entire bureaucratic monstrosity of corruption eliminated overnight because it's a ball of worms. The most ironic thing in the world to me is now the legacy media coming and talking about the kids, in quotes, that are running DOGE's operation to find all this waste, fraud, and abuse. He had a post up the other day that they were spending something like $1,257 per paper coffee cup in the office. I'm being corrected in the comments, by the way, I have to say. Tom Q Cat is telling me that jock itch is actually a fungus. This is something I'd never know because I don't have that issue. So, Adam Carter with jock itch. Adam Carter with jock itch. That's your cure right there. It's fungal, honey. Take care of that. Okay? Joni Ernst is in there somehow. That's a great question. Somebody said, how did she weasel her way in there? It is true. But it's just gone. I mean, it's just gone. And they're attacking the young kids that are running this whole thing, saying like, oh, these inexperienced kids should go back to their mom's basement. And I'm saying the same thing as a very well-respected appellate attorney, John Reeves, said. There are clerks clerking with SCOTUS justices right now, okay, that are a little bit older than these DOGE bros. Just this much older. So I'm okay with it. Then we've got this guy. And listen, the whole point of this show is so you stay calm, grounded, happy, joyful. I know that this doesn't really lend itself to that, but we're going to put ourselves through it anyway right now.
Elon Musk, you didn't create U.S. aid. The United States Congress did for the American people. And just like Elon Musk did not create U.S. aid, he doesn't have the power to destroy it. And who's going to stop him? We are. We're going to stop him. Elon Musk, you may have illegally seized power over the financial payment systems of the United States Department of Treasury.
Illegally? They don't even protest with anger and fierceness anymore. They are like little just neutered puppies. There's nothing left here. David Hogg was just nominated as the vice chair of the DNC. They've learned nothing. It's not illegal. This isn't working. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful because it just exemplifies the return home that people have had from this crazy sort of nutso world we'd been living in for 4 years back home, where inauthenticity like this does not fly. People don't want inauthentic nonsense.
You don't control the money of the American people. The United States Congress does that. Under Article 1 of the Constitution. And just like the president who is elected to something cannot impound the money of the people, We don't have a fourth branch of government called Elon Musk.
I don't even... What? Listen. We voted for DOGE. We voted for DOGE. USAID is actually not some aid organization that goes out helping people who are starving in Uganda or like whatever. They are an arm of the intelligence community that was solely created to advance the United States interests abroad and in other places under the guise of a humanitarian sort of a bent, but were weaponized into a corruption machine. Like, you know how I always say the devil's playground is Ukraine for all this it's gone. It's moving into the State Department. The people that were working there have been fired. None of it's illegal. This is all above board. And they're just upset that we're finding out that they're spending $1,200 something of your tax money every single day on paper coffee cups. Imagine this. Elon Musk has said he thinks he can realize $1 trillion in 1 year. And they're being threatened. These young boys and people working are being threatened. So Eagle Ed Martin came out acting U.S. attorney in D.C. And I'm just going to say it. Look back in your history. A couple years, maybe 18, 19, early 20, to Ed Martin's radio show. I have been on his show several times. He used to sit on the board with me when I was on the board in America's Future. I know Eagle Ed Martin. I am just floored to see him where he's at, but it's a good thing. He wrote a letter basically saying, hey, we know what's going on. It's illegal for this to happen. Please keep us posted. And he sent it out on X, and Elon accepted it on X and said, receipt accepted via X. The world is just different. The world is different. We are in a different world today than we were back in December. The month of break of beans has spawned this new foundation where you can't tell what's going to happen next. And so with that being said, as my HOA lady would say, I want to move into what's going on with this trade war with Canada. Oh, the propaganda that has been going on the social media platforms lately. So Trump basically said, look, you don't want to stop the illegal flow of drugs coming over the northern border. You don't want to stop taxing us on goods. You don't want to stop the illegal immigration issue that we have going on. You don't want to play ball? Okay, buddy, Fafo. I'm hiking tariffs on you guys, which will destroy the Canadian economy. And the one big thing that everybody who doesn't know what they're talking about keeps talking about is the oil. So we're going to break that down for you today. But first, before we get to the oil, let's illuminate ourselves on the fentanyl problem. The fentanyl problem in Canada.
Results are in on the Prime Minister's radical liberalization of hard drugs. He teamed up with the BC NDP to decriminalize fentanyl, crack, and heroin. He lowered jail sentences for mass producers of deadly fentanyl. And 80% of the fentanyl made in Canada is done so using ingredients that are not even regulated, but come right into our country where they're cooked into that poison, now threatening our trade relationship with the U.S. Will he reverse his radical liberal drug agenda to save lives and jobs?
He's not there to do the work of delivering based on science, based on compassion, based on a public health approach on dealing with the toxic drug epidemic. He is instead continuing to try to score cheap political points on the backs of the most vulnerables. That's not serious. That's not responsible.
What is not responsible is allowing 80% of the chemicals used in fentanyl manufacturing to come in unregulated and legally. What is not responsible is decriminalizing crack, heroin, and fentanyl. And then after you see that it leads to a massive increase in deaths, then 2 weeks ago, he, the Bloc, and the NDP all voted in favor of a committee report to decriminalize fentanyl right across the country at a time when Canadians are dying and our border could be closed. Will the Prime Minister confirm that he has reversed himself and now opposes decriminalization of fentanyl?
So he decriminalized fentanyl in Canada. So when you hear this here, this canned inauthentic politics,
From the beaches of Normandy to the mountains of the Korean Peninsula, from the fields of Flanders to the streets of Kandahar, we have fought and died alongside you. During your darkest hours, during the Iranian hostage crisis, those 444 days we worked around the clock from our embassy to get your innocent compatriots home. During the summer of 2005, when Hurricane Katrina ravaged your great city of New Orleans, or mere weeks ago, when we sent water bombers to tackle the wildfires in California. During the day the world stood still, September 11th, 2001, when we provided refuge to stranded passengers.
He's scared. He's terrified. He's trying to use this whole unity message as some sort of a... He doesn't mean any of it. He's terrified because what's going to happen when we import all of the raw crude oil, to refine it for the Canadians because they've environmentally boxed themselves out of energy independence. They use the Green New Deal propaganda to environmentally box themselves out of energy independence.
Woo, buddy, you're not going to like how this goes. Fun fact, spent 4 years in the North Dakota oil fields. First year was as a flowback operator. The next 3 years was as a lease operator or a pumper, as it were. Yep, 4 years of oil field work in the great state of North Dakota. Oofta. So does the United States purchase a lot of Canadian oil exports? Survey says yes. We actually purchase 97% of the oil that you guys export. And that 97% of oil exports from Canada that we purchase in the United States, that accounts for 81% of your guys' entire oil production.
Oh.
Now, for some reason, you got it in your head that we desperately need to purchase this oil from you. Our oil and energy sector is going to die without Canadian exports. No, it's not. There's a very specific reason we purchase so much. It's because you guys sell that oil to us at a discount. Why would Canada sell so much oil at a discount? Well, simply put, it's because about 75% of your guys' total oil production is sour heavy crude. Oh, well, why doesn't Canada just refine their oil, eh? It's because you guys can't. Your refineries can't handle sour crude. And you guys don't even have the money to maintain or build the infrastructure that it would take to transport this oil across your own country. And that's if you were able to refine it in the first place. So the reason why we get to purchase the lion's share of your oil production at a highly discounted rate is because it's raw fucking oil. And sour oil, packed full of H2S gas, which is the second most lethal gas on the planet, right next to what happens when you burn it. So, because it's so heavily discounted, we actually save money by purchasing your exported oil versus just refining our own oil coming out of the Bakken Shale, which accounts for 61% of our oil production, which is sour heavy crude as well. Now factor in that crude oil accounts for 16% of anything that Canada exports, and we buy 97% of that. Who's going to be hurting more economically if we just stop buying that raw oil from you and deal with refining our own shit? Crude oil by itself is a $124 billion a year industry in Canada, by the way. Just selling raw oil down the Keystone Pipeline to American refineries. $124 billion. Canada, you guys do not have the leverage that you think you do economically. And quite frankly, the United States is tired of playing nice and letting you bend us over the table and going in with no lube economically. So I'll say it again for the people in the back. If you guys just stopped ripping us off, you wouldn't be looking down the barrel of a 25% tariff.
It's not even that they're ripping us off. It's that they're enabling horrible drugs and people to come across the northern border willingly and not doing anything to stop it. And for the past 4 years, although it seems like an eternity, we have been the dumping ground for everybody's nonsense. We have taken it every which way. It's amazing to me that we're even in the position that we're in right now, let alone that we survived this at all. Nobody cared because nobody was doing anything about it. It was open season. It was welcomed and encouraged. So for all the people there are people out there going after Donald Trump about his tariffs. I say this. We have a few things in our favor. One of them is our economic might, as weakened as we may be feeling personally. The United States is still one of the powerhouse economies, if not the powerhouse economy in the world, with the reserve currency. You've got to flex the muscles you have. And we've seen this, Panama, Mexico, now Greenland and Denmark, Canada. We're not doing anything. We just want you to stop purposefully pushing things into our country that we do not want. That's all. It's very simple. Just do your part to secure the border. Stop charging us a tariff on our goods when we don't do the same for you. Be a fair business partner. Be a fair neighbor. You need us. You need us real bad. A lot of people need us real bad. And we've taken it and taken it and taken it. And we've doled out all of these. We've printed money out of thin air. We've destroyed the value of the dollar for now. So all the tariff hounds out there that are coming out of the woodwork saying how Trump is a bad guy. How dare he? This is going to be, everybody's going to have to pay more. Guess what? It is likely, probably even probable, didn't mean to do that, probable that there will be some amount of pain that the American citizen needs to go through while we work through this mess. But it's the only way out of this mess for our kids. It's the only way for the average everyday American to finally sit back and say, what's been going on here? And you got Chuck Schumer up there saying, oh, you're not going to be able to buy your beer. You're not going to be able to get your avocados. Guess what, guys? We have some of the most amazing, lush, beautiful farmland in the United States. Not only that, we have some of the greatest beer, if you're a beer drinker and you want to consume that stuff, in America. We have great whiskey in America. We have great vodka even in America. We have great beef coming from red-blooded American ranchers. It's about time that we focused on ourselves. We bought American. We didn't go overseas for medicine that we need and things like that. And it's about time that we start focusing on the root cause of why we need those things in the first place. Why do we need cheap drugs from China? Why? Can we get down to root cause? Can we make root cause a phrase that is commonly recited in the American lexicon from here on out? I put a post up on social media a couple weeks ago. Healthy people don't need government. They don't need doctors. They don't need big pharma to save them. Healthy people, it should be the slogan of the show. Healthy people are ungovernable. They are not looking outside to save them. They're not looking for someone else to do something to make them feel better. They have clear thinking minds, amazing feeling bodies, and they're spiritually connected back to God. And for 20-something years, God, that's scary. My entire adult life, I have been beating the drum of politics to fix the woes. Oh, it's because they're a Democrat. Oh, it's because they're a whatever. We need new people in there. But guess what? People aren't going to vote the right way if they're not healthy. The entire damned thing rests on you. Take radical personal responsibility for that. As you start to heal your body, you will start to heal your mind. As your mind gets more clear, you'll start to heal your soul. Once all three of those things are functioning in unison, as God intended them to, the decisions you will make, the actions you will take, the steps you will take, the things you will do will be directly proportionate to that goodness. There will be no room for any of this anymore because you just won't accept it. You'll be self-sustainable. You'll be taking care of your family. Abortion will become a thing of the past because no healthy woman makes a decision to get absolutely trashed out at a bar and have sex with someone that they have no connection to whatsoever. At the core of everything is health. It is everything. And because of that, MAHA could not have come at a better time. It is the perfect time for MAHA. There is a very, very, very funny jock itch conversation going on in the chat. So I'm going to try this now, okay? I'm going to give this a whirl. We're going to let one person in at a time and see what happens here. I'm going to open this up. We'll see if we get anybody coming in to join the show, have a conversation about whatever it is they want to have a conversation about. In the interim, I have some clips about health that there are people out there that are starting to focus on what they're putting in their bodies that you would never expect. You would never expect. So let's start with one of those people. Do you want to know who it is that I'm starting with? It's Steve Harvey from Family Feud fame. Here we go.
Only eat clean meat.
Yeah, it's got to be clean.
If it's not grass-fed, if it's not from an Amish farm, or if it's not from these farms in Georgia, where they have grass-fed, and I buy them right there. I eat all organic vegetables.
Amazing.
I only eat single-ingredient food. You know, fish has one ingredient in it. Fish.
You really don't need to do much more than that.
That is true.
I couldn't have any flour, stuff like that. I couldn't have anything that was fortified or enriched. And once I learned that my body cannot produce, what is it, folic acid?
Folic acid.
My body cannot produce that. I mean, it can't
process
it. Now, why am I putting it in here?
Exactly.
And if you flip that label over and it says folic acid, you need to put that thing down.
Throw it in the trash.
And if this is the magical, see, the single ingredient food really helped me because I can't read that good no way. So if you turn the label over and you can't pronounce the word, you probably don't need to eat it.
Exactly.
It's true. Read your labels. It'll drive you absolutely insane to see what's going in your food. We have two brave souls who have decided to join us today. We're going to get both of them in. First is Smith AM. Let's see how this works here. Hold on. I think I need to be on the other side. Hold on a second. There we go. Smith, can you unmute your microphone before I bring you in here live? And I'm going to share the sound here for everybody too, so you can hear what's going on. This is new. I've never done anything like this before, so I have no camera on you, Smith, and I have no sound. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can, my dear. Hold on just a second. Hold on. It's different with, yeah, this is going to be, okay. I'm going to leave myself up on the screen alone because you don't have video, so it's going to look silly, but let's hear what you have to say today, my dear. Can you hear me?
I'm just glad that you're back and so excited for your new show. And well, I wanted to congratulate you for your position with MAHA.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I missed you, honestly. I miss all of you guys, but I say hi to you 3 days a week for how long? A long while. Is there a delay? All right, Smith. I appreciate.
Well,
there you go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've been watching and reading Uncover DC and Frank and Beans since December 2018.
Wow. The beginning. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love you, sweetheart, so much. I really do. You are wonderful. You have always been wonderful. Love seeing your comments in the chat. I think there's a little bit of a delay, so I muted you for now, but I hope you come back. Gonna put you back in the waiting room, see if we can bring someone else in. This is gonna be so much fun. I have 4 people in here. Let's see. Let's put in Mark and see what happens with Mark here. He's joining. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second now. Let's see if we can do this the right way. Why is it doing that? Give me one moment. Let me switch this around. Huh, very weird. All right, well, we don't have video today, so that's okay. I'll fix it. I don't know what's going on with that, but inevitably something will be wrong. Mark.
Hello.
Hello, speak up loudly.
How good is my mic?
It's great.
Okay. I muted you, I guess, online, right?
Yeah, you don't want echo.
I'm the guy who bought, I have your steaks coming to me, your flank steaks from Pennsylvania.
Which ranch?
I'm supporting your cause, you know. The young man who started a...
MAHA.
Yeah. So, but I've been asking you questions. You're my first person I ever talked to on Twitter and X, and I like following your subjects. I'm totally in love with your husbands and your decisions to do what you've been doing. I'm so happy about that. I'm a Weston Price dentist, so you can ask me any questions about real food.
And you're a holistic dentist, correct?
Yeah.
Can you explain to the people out there what that means?
Well, essentially it's, biocompatibility and, I just love root cause like concepts. But the number one reason why we have gum disease probably is the carbs that we're eating on a regular basis, making our bacteria in our mouth, our microbiome all fun. And it's a big party there. And insulin resistance does the same thing with fluid that comes out of your gums, has actually more sugar in it. So it even feeds the party more like a big punch bowl.
Can I repeat that for everybody? Carbs and sugar mess up the microbiome in your mouth, which causes dental disease. Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, not just gum disease, but also cavities. Different ways, but we know so much more about these things now, and we're just a big tube, and I like to say. And then when you swallow, we also have bugs that produce nitric oxide, which I know I've heard you mention with people on your shows, but the whole idea about bacteria having a purpose in our bodies. So this particular one releases nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator. So anyway, if you use I'm not going to say the word
mouthwash,
then you kill like all the bugs in your mouth, which is sort of not the best thing to do. So.
This is the same argument I have sometimes with folks that say, like, I want to cleanse my entire body of parasites, right? Now you hear the word parasite and you run for the hills. You think, oh my gosh, there's worms in me. But the human body is colonized by parasites of all different kinds, correct?
Yeah, we're only 10% our DNA.
And some of those parasites are necessary, correct?
Yeah, and in your quantum realm stuff, I think, your bugs ask you for chocolate, and stuff like that happens.
And I have another question for you since you're here, and then we'll move on, and I want you to come back again because I could ask you questions all day. My next question for you is there any safe root canal?
Why'd you have to ask me that? That's the hardest question to ask. to answer. Well, you put me on the spot, but what I would tell you is my ultimate argument is that teeth have a blood supply and lymphatic system when they're alive. And when they're not alive, they don't have that same form and function. So, there's a lot of research on this, and not to be, I want to be honest about things. I didn't think I'd be online talking about all this stuff. I mean, I've done plenty of podcasts where I talk about this, but the idea is that the the root surface is full of tubules where it once was occupied by a cell body, inside the middle of the tooth. So those tubules are there for bugs now, and it's a big party, a big condo. And in fact, the size of the hole where the tubule is, the white blood cell is bigger and can't get in there to kill the bugs. So it's just kind of a mess. And then it doesn't know how much pressure is being put on it. I mean, there's a number of things that are a problem, but my own mom we did DNA analysis of teeth, and 100% of root canals come back with anaerobic bacteria that are off the rails. So there's 80 different ones, and these bugs are actually related to dementia and things like that. So I don't really like pull punches now with the research. If you don't want to look at the research and you don't want to be honest, so it takes a certain terrain that gets messed up on that. Insulin resistance, for example, diabetics, root canals fail twice as fast. So, or usually fail twice as soon, or how do you say it?
Same difference.
Sooner, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And, I love your questions. I didn't think I'd be talking to you, Tracy. I'm excited that I got you on your first show. So I'm really happy about that. I love Frank. I've been watching Frank since you've been off. He cracks me up. Cracks me up.
He's hysterical. Frank is definitely a character for sure. There's one more question here for you. You're a hot topic right now down in the chat. The question is, what about coconut oil pulling? Is that good?
Yeah, I like oil pulling. So that whole idea about your microbiome in your mouth, you want to do something more gentle. Essential oils sometimes are gentle, but if you do like hot, straight tea tree, you're going to wipe out a lot of things. So I think oil pulling the whole concept was done in Ayurvedic medicine 2,000 years ago, and they knew that oil pulling actually stopped arthritis. So that's what I mean about we need to know stuff and keep stuff in our brain and tell people. Hopefully Grok will tell us the truth about the root cause of disease. But, so oil pulling, what it does is you pull it through your teeth, but it's supposed to be pulling stuff into the fat. So the idea is you're pulling lipophilic stuff, and you're pulling in things. And so if you have amalgams in your mouth, do not swallow that oil,
because you're swallowing mercury at that point, or yeah,
theoretically. But so when you're detoxing, you spit it out. So I say waste paper basket or your neighbor's lawn, because you don't want to spit it down the sink. And then so coconut oil is great. And I like ghee because it contains the fat soluble vitamins in it. So if you get, if you like ghee, I love that. And so if you didn't have amalgams, then you could swallow it, with the idea being maybe the microbiome from the mouth is seeding in some way, some DNA or some way it's seeding our actual gut.
So fantastic. That's right. Animal fat, everyone. You hear that? Listen closely.
So next time I talk to you, I'll say, I tried tallow oil pulling. I've never tried tallow oil pulling. Well, I sometimes lick the knife, I should say.
I actually have some really good tallow. I'll try it and I'll report back, Mark.
I know you did report on your gum health after you became carno.
Huge difference.
So
Huge.
I love that. Testimonials will really tell the truth, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Then just add them all up,
Add them all up. All animals. It's the way we're supposed to be living. Well, God bless you, friend.
Nose to tail, right?
Yes. Amen. Yes. Nose to tail.
Well, thanks for taking my call.
Oh, you're welcome. Come back again, please.
I'm going to try to do this and be available right after work for me.
Fantastic.
Mondays at least. We could do Mondays with Mark. Maybe.
Mondays with Mark works. Whoever becomes a regular is more than welcome to come on in every time.
Is that the same studio, or did you jazz it up? It looks jazzed up.
No, this is it, baby.
Oh, okay.
I'm jazzed up. It's me.
Yeah. Your hair is getting long. It looks good.
It is. And I just got a cut too. I cut a little bit off of the ends, but not too much, because I like my hair long. So does my husband. Kind of locked into that now.
Do you have a natural product to dye your hair? That's another topic about heavy metals.
Oh, hair dye? Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, there's a number of things women can do. None of them work very, very well now. You know what women can do to take care of their hair naturally? Just let it frickin' grow. Let it gray naturally, let it grow, and just be done with it all, ladies.
One more thing, Tracy. I did want to say this publicly because the website's not built yet, but I bought the domain name Make American Mouths Healthy Again. So it's momha.com. So if you want to work with me, we could put content on there if you want.
Momha.com. Everybody put that in your bookmarks. And Mark will come back on a Monday and let us know when it's ready to go.
Well, it'd be sort of stuff like that, to talk about what goes in your pie hole,
Pie hole, not pie. That's what goes in your pie, not pie. No pie in the pie hole anymore.
I looked it up. It's cake hole in England. Oh, cake hole.
That sounds gross.
Yeah. Well, it's a hole for your cake. So.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm not working today, so I'm kind of loosey-goosey, and I had a little bit of coffee.
That does it too. That always does it too. This is my
I love your show. Thanks for everybody listening that was, watched me.
Yeah. Tons of people want to hear from you again, so we'll see you next week.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Mark.
Bye.
This is fun. Okay, so let's see. We've got a few more people in here. We've got Katie, Troy, and Nathan. We'll get through these three, and then we'll call it a wrap for the first episode of With Beans, because we've got every freaking day together. I hope you're ready. And tomorrow, I'll have it so that we can put these guys on video. I don't know what happened. Tech fail. Let's have Katie come on in here and see what she's got to say today. There she is. Gorgeous, gorgeous Katie. She's connecting to audio. I know Katie K. I can't hear you, honey.
Okay, I had to allow the microphone I'm on.
There we go. Hi, love.
Okay, I want to talk liver.
Okay, talk liver.
I can't stand the taste of it.
It's terrible.
But I'm researching all the benefits. How do you do organ meat?
I don't.
Does Will?
No.
Oh, is anybody here? Well, I wonder if maybe some comments can help. Like, how do you get it in your diet? I've been reading that you can cut it into small pieces and freeze it, and then like just swallow those small pieces as a pill.
I have a bunch of different ways for you. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so getting liver into, because organ meat is packed full of nutrients. It is so good for you. Not an overabundance of it. You don't want to go crazy and go overboard, but it's good to have some. So you can get it in ground beef. Get your ground beef with some portion of organ meat in it. Not so much that it tastes foul for you, but enough that you're getting the nutrients from it. So even if you did it yourself at home, you could add it in. There are many ranchers that will sell an organ meat blend of ground beef. So it's like 70% ground beef and then the fat, and then there's like 10% organ meat, heart, liver, and stuff like that. They also sell supplements you can take.
Okay, I've seen those. I looked into those. They're expensive, and you have to take like 6 a day.
They're very expensive. I don't even listen. It's been 3 years now for me and Will, and we've never once consumed an organ meat. Okay. They're recommended, but I have not noticed any problems. That's me.
Okay.
Just me.
Okay.
You're doing carnivore, dear.
Well, no, we're getting there. Just like kind of like slowly taking steps that direction. But I'm trying to get my kids to start taking liver just for all the vitamins and minerals, because it's just tough to get your kids to take like all the supplements. And I don't know how much really they should be getting, so I'm hesitant. And I thought liver's a natural way to make sure that they're getting all these vitamins and minerals.
Yes.
So
yes. If you want to talk about your kind of ease in to a meat-based diet and you need help, you have my phone number.
I do. Yes. Thanks, Tracy.
You're very welcome, love.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Bye. All right. Katie is a dear friend. Let's see. Troy. Let's do Troy and then Nathan. Troy's coming in. This is fun. I could do this all frickin' day, which is kind of scary. Troy's muted. I see Troy. Tomorrow you'll hopefully see people too. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing
on the revamp of the show, or the new show.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here, and this is my favorite part. What's going on?
I actually wanted to reach out to you several months ago, since you started to make this transition of expanding yourself, getting away from the news, going more into consciousness, well-being, etc. Because that's the whole line of work I do. I work with people more on relationship health, let's say, and it's about restoring our resilience and autonomy within ourselves and our relationship and our communities.
Amen.
Yeah. Resilience does not get talked about a lot, and if it is talked about, it's in a kind of a false way. Resilience is not it's something that's innate in us. It's always in us. It's always been there, except that we only bring out our resilience usually in times of crisis and emergency, like the grandma that can lift a car to save a child, but we can do that at any time.
Can you explain for folks like what exactly you mean when you say resilience?
It's if you think, the easiest way to think about it is, it's like it's our connection to a source. Call that whatever you want, whether you want to be religious or not. But it is our internal energy, our life force, our will. It's the permanent and timeless part of you. It's your essence.
That's a good definition, because people think resilience and they tend to go towards, I'm just supposed to be beaten to a pulp and be resilient against it, and that's not the same type of resilience that you're talking about.
No, it's not. It's your core essence, which is the permanent nature of yourself. It's thinking, it's the person you have the conversation with, the one observing yourself. It's if you want, the part of you that goes beyond death, so to speak. Right? Your soul. So, and it's when we are connected with source, we become resilient. When we are disconnected from source, we're operating from a place of disconnect or gap, and I call that our pathetic self. Pathetic meaning we're driven by pathology, we're self-indulgent, and we have there's a third one.
So just to level the playing field for everybody, when you say source, you mean God.
Well, you can call it God if you want.
You can call it God, you can call it, whatever you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter. This is an innately human thing.
It's innately human, and it's not something that is outside of you, it is within you. So when I deliver my courses, one thing I say to say, like, so how did this all start? Imagine God, or the divine creator, as an endless mirror, and it's in this dimension where it's an endless mirror, but it's a mirrored substance, but it can't have relationship with anything because it can't reflect anything. It is an endless mirror. So the creator decides, I'm going to shatter myself into millions and thousands and billions of pieces so I can face myself and have dialogue and be in relationship. And so each of us is a part of that shattered mirror.
So we're a shard of the ultimate creation.
So we are both the created and part of the creator. We are not the sole creator or the sole divine God. We are part of it, so to speak. And then, so this is how the creator can evolve itself, by being in dialogue with itself and enriching itself and expressing its full potential of itself. And then it can be reabsorbed back in, and it can shatter again. That's like...
I love this. This is like the kind of different conversations that I was really excited to have on the show today, because they're gonna kind of shake some folks, right? Some folks will be uncomfortable thinking about concepts like this, and others will be like, wow, that actually makes a lot of sense to me. But the conversations aren't being had on a wide scale with normal everyday people, and I think they need to be. So
and I think it's really a simple switch. It's nothing magical or special about coming from your essence or accessing your resilience. You can do that at any time, but we have to train our mind around it. Like, if we are all pieces of the shattered mirror, what we focus on is the shape and the size, and yours is bigger than mine, or mine is bigger than yours is duller, mine is sharper, when we forget that we're all made of the same substance, which is this essence, the mirror. And when we can communicate more essence to essence, then we can, and come from unity first, we can then appreciate diversity. And that is true diversity, not this DEI crap that's promoting fragility. It's when we come from our resilience and our essence, then we're no longer playing status games of control or validation.
Well, when you love yourself, then nobody else can. There's no other, quote, threat for lack of a better word. Like when you're comfortable and confident and love yourself and understand your own resilience, you're not threatened by anyone else. You're not in judgment of anyone else. You're not looking for something from someone else that you can't get for yourself. And so that brings peace, like by default.
And it enables you to go through all of your own death's doors, your own challenges, because you're coming from your own resilience and creativity instead of pointing the finger and blaming others or expecting others to get you through it.
Radical personal responsibility.
That's right. Yeah. And if we had gone through our own ultimate death's door, which is dealing with our own death and coming to acceptance of it, we would have been in a very different world today than what happened in 2020, because everyone was preyed upon by their fear.
I thank you for saying that, because one of the things that I always say is nobody would have gotten the shot if they weren't afraid of dying from the virus.
Well, nobody would have even been locked down
if they weren't
afraid.
afraid.
I was in Paris when it happened, when they locked it down. And the very next, so I remember it was a Saturday night and I'm out and one of the bartenders says, "Oh, we're closing everything up at midnight." And I said, "Really?" So, and then on Sunday, Macron gets on the television and started chastising people to say, "You were out in the park and you were gathering in groups. How dare you? How dare you? So now, to teach you a lesson, we're going to fine you 135 euros. And that's people sold out to COVID for 135 euros.
Unbelievable.
Instead of saying, no, we're going to gather out in the streets anyway. Screw your lockdown.
It's ridiculous, truthfully.
Yeah.
It was all fear. I want you to hold on for a second. Don't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to fix this. I'm trying to fix this.
Well, that's low.
You see this white box here?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's there or where it's coming from. Just bear with me a moment. Let me try this. There you are.
Oh, hello.
I knew I could do it. Everybody clap. Amazing. It only took me the entire show to figure out, but I got it. So
you got it.
Yeah, so thank you for coming on. And again, this is going to be an everyday thing. We can have as many conversations about whatever the hell you want any single day. I'm not going to shut anything down. It is all welcome here. If somebody wants to call and tell me why the conversation we just had was stupid, by all means, we can have a group convo about that.
One thing that struck me a few months ago, what was it? I don't know what you were talking about when you said to get out of victimhood. It's not what's happening to me, it's what's happening for me.
Always, right? Always.
That struck me because back in 2020, I was doing a webinar on the nature of forgiveness. I called it the unnatural nature of forgiveness. And I was talking about that when we take a meta view out and we look at our life as games, that it's like an obstacle course and we need to learn lessons from all our games. Your enemy is actually your teacher. So you cannot get down on the level and try to attack your enemy, but rather ask, what is the enemy trying to wake me up to? Mm-hmm. And I literally said, it's not what's happening to you, but what's happening for you. So I was like, whoa, I gotta send you some of my webinars.
Yeah, send me something. I'm a sponge for stuff. Like, okay. Especially in the consciousness, like thinking, development sort of an area, all of that. Send me stuff. I always like to hear different perspectives.
And I'll just put something in the chat here. Can you do that?
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
And then can I reach out to you on Twitter or
on
Telegram?
You could send me a DM on Twitter. That's the best place, actually. Okay. I'm just gonna look real quick. I think I have one more person I want to bring in, and then we're gonna call it a wrap for today. But stay a friend.
I will.
Good.
I will.
Very good. Thank you for being here.
I've always appreciated your work. I've been following you since 2019.
Wow.
So,
yeah. Well, you're family. You're family.
And I'm glad that you're making it feel like family.
Oh, so, God bless you. Thank you.
So wonderful.
Thank you so much, honey.
Thank you very much.
Sure thing. This is so cool. I swear. I'm going to put you in the waiting room. We got one more person, and then we're going to call it quits. I see. This is going to be... If this keeps going like this, I'm so excited because this is fantastic. All right, Sarah. Let's let Sarah in. Sarah, you're the last call for today. If you can make it in here. Joining. Oh, she's gone. She's in the waiting room. Why don't I see her? I don't see her on screen for some reason, and I'm not sure why. There she is. Oh, I'm so happy. This is why I did it this way. It's so easy to get rid of. I knew there'd be at least one. I'm so smart. I got treated to some really interesting visuals. Luckily, you did not get treated to some interesting visuals. So funny. There were penises everywhere. Sorry about that. It's bound to happen. I knew it was going to happen when I said that I was going to open this up to like literally anyone with the link. And it's a risk that I'm willing to take. So this has been the first episode of With Beans. We're going to be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. There's a pre-show if you guys want to join the pre-show. There's a pre-show at 1:15 every day on Locals. You just subscribe to Locals, join the pre-show, and wow, they even spammed the chat. That was something. Yeah, so that's that. I'm going to play our intro again and watch it on the way out. And thank you guys for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. I hope you learned something. I hope you consider joining tomorrow. And I think that's it for now. See you on Tuesday. I'm used to saying Wednesday.